Customer lifetime value is something that needs to be understood in any online business. Email marketing and the power of it is one of the largest driving forces for most online companies. And ensuring you're communicating with your customer correctly via this channel is a fine art. In this Service Please snack, we talk about how Trapped Fruits is in the process of getting a better email marketing strategy in place, but also who are some of the most effective companies at their email marketing.
Yeah, so within a subscription service, I think now, which you alluded to as well, it's about that customer retention.
Yeah.
One of the things in which I've become to understand and come to learn, there's like a formula which is basically customer lifetime value, and the importance of that, and then you have the customer acquisition value. So that's along the lines of, if you've got to spend X amount on Instagram or X amount of time nourishing a community to then get it on board. And there's a ratio for that, because if you're a subscriber to Trapped Fruits and you order it 15 times and you then know after 15 times they're like, actually I don't need this service anymore, you know what to spend on it. So I'm intrigued to know with a business like yourself that's not like got a lot of like VC backing, it's completely self-funded, you're growing as you come, you don't have all the money to basically be spending on the advertising space or being able to get out there, and it's a very competitive thing. So how are you holding on to your customers through customer service and retention and stuff like that? What's been your method to that?
Yeah, I think it's been a difficult one. I think holding on to the customers and everything like that. My thing is that we always have to make sure that the product is good. Bottom line, there has to be value in that. Bottom line, they have to know when they taste this mango, they've not tasted mango like this before. Bottom line, when they taste that grapes, they know, nah, they're not tasting, this is not odd box grapes. This is like serious grapes, this is the product, it has to speak for itself. So bottom line, I know that. In terms of kind of keeping the customers, I think that's something that we're working on, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's something that we're working on because I know the value in it. I think when you think about our phones, for example, we're in for life with Apple. You keep buying that product, you keep buying it. And that's one thing I always say to Bath and everyone else who's worked with us. I said, listen, build up the brand, and let people buy into the brand, because once they're in the brand, then you can sell them anything. It doesn't matter. Apple sold us watches. Who the hell told them they can make watches? You know what I mean? Apple can sell us a car and we probably would buy it. We probably would buy it. They could probably sell us a car and we probably would buy it because we're in with a brand now. That's it. So that's one thing I know the importance of kind of building that brand and making people feel that they're part of it. That's the reason why I made the shirts in the first place. That's the reason. It wasn't about, I want to make merch and sell merch. No, I made the shirts because then it makes people feel like they're part of something. And guess what? Those shirts that you're wearing is the same shirt that we're going to wear as our staff shirt. So then they feel like they're all part of it. So it wasn't that, the staff has a different shirt to the people. No, we are all wearing the same shirt because we're all batting for the same team. So things like that is what I thought, it was my way of thinking, okay, this is how we keep the customer in and make them feel like they're part of it and make them feel like they're part of something, And, but yeah, again, that's something I'm still learning that, because there are more, that's one way of doing it, in my mind's way, but there are more practical ways, like, sending out your email blast, checking, all right, what customers have dropped off, sending them an email going, oh, hey, so you dropped off, etc., things like that. So I understand the practical side of things, and actually that is stuff that we're working on in the background anyway. So, I've written it all up and we're kind of working on all of that in the background. So I wouldn't say I'm there yet or we're there yet, but it's something that I'm hyper aware of, and it's something that is of importance to me.
Yeah, I think with the online thing, that email flow and that email newsletter marketing is like so invaluable, and I don't think people realise the power of it. And if you are invested in the brand and you can take that people on that journey, it's like they've ordered the box and then they get an email a few days after like, hey, this is P, how was your box? All of those kind of things. And then also if you're able to create in your website, which you're doing, that like if they haven't ordered in X amount of time, it's just like, hey, just to let you know we're still here. Why have you cancelled the subscription? And then also learning and having that conversation.
Exactly.
I think that's the difficult thing. But I think also you've done a really, really good thing because you did a lot of activations. You've actually put yourself at music festivals or other places. So you know, being able to maybe not do the online advertising and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but actually the physical
life, physical,
advertising
yeah.
and being like, look, we are a real business, we have a community, we're
Yeah.
supporting locals, we're supporting my family,
Yeah.
all of those kind of things that I think then also gets people more invested within it.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said that, because that's just, you know, my brain works in that way. You know, like, okay, on the ground, like, what can we do? Real things. But I know the power and importance of the emails and everything like that. I know it because it works on me. I can get an email from Goodhood and oh, that's a nice tracksuit. Oh yeah. Oh, all right, I'll just buy that. Oh, that's a nice top. Oh yeah, I'll buy that Stussy shirt. It works. It works on me. So obviously, you know, like, you know, I've got a subscription for. Can you mention other things on it? Yeah. So I've got a subscription to Planthood, and you know, every week they'll send you an email and say, hey, here's your menu for next week, and you just feel like, oh, nice. Like, and you feel like, okay, I'm making a decision here. I'm gonna like pick my meals, and then your meals come, and it's like, oh, great, you know. So all of those things are important. I tell you who's really, really hot on it. HelloFresh. Jesus Christ. I'm like, wow. They are, because I had HelloFresh for like a month or something, yeah. Mate, inundated. I was like, Jesus. But normally I'd be angry at it, but I was learning. I was like, come on, fuck it, keep emailing me, I don't care. Let me learn, let me see what's going on. It was like, I got an email, sad to see you leave. Yeah. Got an email, oh, hey, it's Mother's Day. Got an email, hey, here's a new recipe, try this out. Got an email, you know. So I understand the importance of it.
But that goes to that lifetime value. So you've even said, I would imagine that you're probably the average kind of customer with HelloFresh.
Yeah.
They know that they hold someone for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And they know from sending out 4 weeks worth of boxes, they make X amount of profit. Yeah. So they know to spend X on you.
Yeah.
And then there would be an email thread for you as ex-customer.
Yeah.
Whereas someone else might do 6 weeks, and then they know that there's a different kind of thing, and there'd be a different email flow for that person and things like that. Yeah. But HelloFresh is a Goliath of a company.
Goliath.
But like you said, you can still take those little bits and understand those things to be able to put it into yours.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Klarna is like MailChimp as well, which is like a kind of thing in which you can actually segment all of your flows and do all of that and things like that.
So yeah, MailChimp, we're
and they integrate with Shopify, which was those great things, and it's learning these things.
Yeah, so many of these, so many of these platforms integrate with Shopify. You know, so it's like, it's a no-brainer for us to be on there because that is the place for e-commerce. It's like, you know, us being on Squarespace was just because I knew how to quickly build on Squarespace. That was it. It wasn't anything other than that, you know. Really, I should have just started on Shopify, but I was just too in the weeds, I think. I was just too in the weeds of everything, you know, so I didn't have time to think. You know, normally my job in terms of advertising is I have a bit of time to think. I have time, I have the luxury, not much time, but I have the luxury of like sitting down, brainstorming and thinking and going, okay, why that? No, that don't work, or that don't work. And, you know, so, but in Trackfruits, I didn't have the luxury of time. I didn't. Yeah.
Also, I just realised, I think I said Klarna, which is the like payment thing. It's Klaviyo. I'm thinking, what am I getting?
That's all right.
The other day, I'm getting a motorbike and I want to do a trip, and I went to go and get all of the like for the jackets and things like that. And the guy was saying, I'd never heard of that service before.
Klarna, yeah.
Yeah, mad.
Bro, it's putting people in debt, man.
Yeah, real
That's
talk.
what it is. That's what it is. It's just
it's madness.
Madness. But
Yeah.
also, I saw on again, you know, just learning. I saw on Trapstar, so they're like a streetwear brand. I saw that they do Klarna on their website. I was like, wow, they're kind of a bit ahead of the curve because there's not many people in that space that would put Klarna on their thing, you know? Yeah. And yeah, I know I'm saying about debt and all of that, but...
It reminds me of the catalogue man back in the day.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is.
Knocking at your door, bro.
That's exactly what it is. So now people are Klarna-ing their streetwear clothes, you know? Their tracksuits. And it's like, I get it, it's fucking times are hard, man. Like, it's not easy, you know? But and you want to look good and feel good, you know? But, fuck, I'm like, shit, wow. But, you know, I was like, well, good on Trapstar, you know, because someone can just pay like, what, £10 a month? I don't know how much it is, but, you know, £20 a month or whatever.
And on that, like, do you feel that you are, as Trapped Fruits, solving a problem enough for people that, like, when the price or when cost of living and things like that, do you, like, is that a thought process for you in any way, shape, or form?
It's a very, very, very difficult one for us because exotic fruit's not cheap, but we still want to be affordable. We still want to be, you know, accessible. Exactly. We still want to be accessible, and we still also want the box to be interesting. You know, because we could easily say, right, all right, we just want to try and make some maximum profit here and just fill it up with just your bog standard fruit. But that's not what we're about, and I wouldn't be happy with it personally. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
But I've looked at the numbers so far, and like I say, I'm in the spreadsheet, so I'm like, okay, we can do it for this. We can just about do it. So, you know, anything else, and like, because you're looking at like margins of like 20p, 30p. Like, you know, before you didn't even think that mattered, but now that matters. 20p matters. You know what I mean? When you're in a big thing, 20p matters. You know, you don't think it matters, but when you're doing volumes, you're like, oh, okay, that 20p matters because 5 20p's is a pound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? So you're like, oh shit, you're doing that 5 times, that's a pound already. You're like, no. Yeah.
And when, like you said, when you're talking numbers and you multiply it, adds up quick.
Adds up quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a difficult one for us, but we're trying to kind of toe that line.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that snack from the full episode with Pia Santi of Trapped Fruits. If you could tell one other person about this podcast, or even use their phone to like, follow and share, it will be much appreciated. You can also go one step further and become a patron of the podcast via www.serviceplease.io. Any monthly contributions will help amplify the voices of the hospitality and wider food industry, enabling more people to understand the innovations and daily struggles of one of the most dynamic sectors, and of course, the tastiest.